Hi friends, welcome to the Kiran's Lab. My name is Kiran Wagela and I am a software engineer. Today I am going to discuss with you about top 10 Java related questions and answers. So let's get started with it. So first question, what is object and how it store in a memory? Or how the class is going to be stored in memory? So you can answer this question like this. When object is created in object-oriented programming language, it is typically stored inside heap memory. The heap memory is a region of memory used for dynamic allocations. Here is the background by breakdown how the object is going to be stored. Heap memory objects are allocate memory from the heap memory when they are initiated. Memory layout, instance variables and metadata. So instance variables, those are attributes of the object and each instance variables is stored inside the memory. Metadata, information about the object class such as its types and methods, so is also stores. So follow-up question on the this question may going to be asked you, how is the class is stored in memory? Class are stored in specific areas of the memory known as a method area, or we can say the class area. This area contains like class metadata, static variables and methods. So information about the class such as its name, superclass and interface. Static variables contains like variables that are shared among all the instance of the class. Methods, the code for the methods defined in the class. So that is going to be stored inside the method area. The class loader is responsible for loading the class into the memory. It reads the class files and loads the class metadata, static variables and methods into the method area. So here is the example. Like we have a class. There is a two properties, colors and speed. So car having this property color and speed. So is the constructor and having the display method. So inside the main method we have created the car object and we call the display object. So we can say, like for example, you can give this example and you can give this kind of explanation like the car class is loaded into the method area. The my car object is created and stores inside heap memory. Key point needs to be remembered, like objects are stored in the heap memory. Classes are stored in the method area. The class loader handles the loading of the class into the heap memory. So this kind of example and this explanation you can give to the interviewer so that they can clearly understand. Next question. How many ways we can create an object? So there are several ways to create an object in Java. Some of the common methods are like using the new keyword. So this is the most common way to create an object. So using the new keyword we can create an object of a class. For example, car, my car equals to new car and the properties of the class. Another way is like using reflection API. So we can also use the reflection API like a class and its new instance method to create an object. So please note that the new instance method is deprecated in the Java in 9 and later. So it's better to use the get declare constructor dot new instance method above than 9 version. So here is the syntax like example like car, my car equals to car dot class dot get declared constructor string dot class int dot class new instance red and 120, which is the properties of the given. So this is the way we can create above version 9 in Java. We can create like this. Using the cloning way, we can also create an object using the cloning way by copying the existing object using the clone method, and we can implement the clonable interface like that. So this is the example like a car, my car, new car, the property red and 120, car, clone car, object, another object, and equals to typecast car mycar.clone method. So here is the third ways we can create. So another way, using the deserializer method, you can also create an object by deserialize it from the byte stream. The class must implement the serialized interface. So for example, file input stream file in equals to new file input stream car dot ser, which is the, we can say, the input stream name parameter. Object input stream in equals to new object input stream file in car mycar car typecast in dot read dot object in close file close. So this is the basically the example how you can create using the deserialization method way. Using the factory method, another way is using the factory method. You can also create a object using the factory method. Like this method returns the instance of the class. So for example, class factory public static create a car and return a new car. So we can say like, okay, we have created the static methods and then we can return the new variable from new object from it. So using the dependency injection also we can create a object, like using the auto wired mechanism we can create an object of a particular class. So in summary, like how many ways we can create, you can answer this question like this: using new keyword, reflection API, cloning, deserialization, factory methods, dependency injection, like this. Next question. Suppose this is the scenario based question. You can consider, like, suppose you have a parent class with a method display and a child class that is also has its own display method. If you create an object of the child class and call the display method, then which method will going to be executed? So an programmer will going to be compiled properly or not? So here we can say, okay, we take the example, okay, here we are talking about the parent class which having the display method and child class which extends the parent class and it overrides the display method. Okay, so inside main method we have created the child class object and we are calling the child.display method. So in this way, like we can say, okay, yeah, which two questions are asked in the third questions, like which method is will execute. So we can say, yeah, display method is going to be execute in a class because we have created the object of a child class. And will program will compile properly? Yes, the program will compile properly and run without any issue. So here you can see, okay, a child object we have created and we are simply calling the display method. So this is the scenario based questions also going to be asked. Next question. Method overloading and method overriding. So method overloading, we can say like multiple methods in the same class with same name but parameters are different. And method overriding, we can say the method in a child class with the same name and parameters as the method in the parent class. Next question. Static methods and interface inheritance. So this is the category and this is the questions. Like if the parent class has a static method and a child class also has a static method with the same name, what happens when you call the static method using the child class? So this is another way of asking the tricky question. So you can answer simply like by creating parent class and child class with having the static method into it, and we can extend it. So we can see here the example as well, and you can answer this question like this: like static methods are not overridden but hidden. The static method in a child class hides the static methods in the parent class. So here it is like parent.display, child.display. So it will call the parent class of static display method and child class of display method. Both are separately it will be going to be called. Next question. Constructor chaining. So this is the another category. So we can say like explain the constructor training in Java with example. The question where interviewer may ask the question like this. So you can answer, okay, yeah, constructor sharing is the process of calling one construction from another constructor within the same class or from the constructor in the parent class. So here we can take the example like, okay, so class parent class having the constructor, parent constructor, and child class extends the parent, and inside child class this dot hello and system dot out dot child class default constructor is called, okay, and child string another constructor and it's called a super, and child another like we just sys out the name like child class parameter as constructor and message. So this is the another way of asking the tricky question. So here we can say, okay, yeah, so child class object is going to be created. The you can see here like there is a default constructor has been called, okay. So default constructor, what it will do, it will call this constructor, okay, in this, like by default it will point to the this one, and this one will get called, and super constructor will get called, parent constructor will get called, and then child constructor will print this message child class parameterized constructor called hello, and in this way it will get going to be execute. I'm going to be mark like first which one we going to be called, okay. So from this line it will call this constructor, and from this keyword it will be point to the current constructor this one, and from super keyword it will call the super constructor parent class constructor this one, and then it will print this statement, and then next statement, and at the last this statement is going to be print, okay. So hope you guys understood this. Okay, so next question please. Final method and inheritance category. So in this category the questions will like this, like can a final method be overridden in Java? What happens if you try to override it? Okay, so you can answer this question like this: a final method cannot be override in Java. If you try to override the final method, the compiler will throw an error, okay. So for example, it will give you the compilation error, like you can say, okay, we have a class like this and we have also extended parent class in a child class, and then we are trying to override those methods, then compiler obviously we will give you the error, okay. Next question, in a category from like abstract classes and interface, the question will be like this: what is the difference between an abstract class and interface in Java? Can you provide an example where the both are used? Okay, see the question, like question is asking in one question they are expecting two answers, like what is the difference between abstract class and interface, and can you give the example like where both can use? So you can answer like this, okay, yeah, so abstract class can have both the abstract method and concrete method. It can have state or like instance variable inside it as well, and interface can have only abstract methods, and after the Java 8 like we can also have a default methods and static variables, static method inside it, okay. And we can see the example here like how it's going to be used, okay. So we can say, okay, yeah, abstract class is created, animal abstract class, which having the one abstract method and one like method definition. So sound is an abstract method, and another method definition is like method body is method is created like a sleep method, okay. So and separately interface is created like a pet interface which having the method like a void play. So we created the dog class which extends the animal class, which is abstract class, and implements the pet. Okay. So in this, which implements the pet. So in this, we can use the properties of the sound. Like, okay, yeah, dogs can, bark. Okay, so we can just simply, dogs can have its own sound. Okay, cat can have its own sound. So we can give the sound property here, and we can utilize the property of an interface like a pet. So pet having the one method which is play. So we can say, yeah, we are playing with dog, like that. Okay, and this way we can create an object of a dog class, and we can call the method of dog class. Okay, yeah. So we can also use the abstract method inside abstract methods, abstract class, animal class, sleep methods. So yeah, we can use like this. 9. Next question. In a category of multiple inheritance, how does Java handles the multiple inheritances? It does not supports directly throughout the classes. Okay, so yeah, you can say, yeah, Java handles the multiple inheritance throughout the interface. A class can implement the multiple interface, allowing its inherit behavior from the multiple sources. Okay, so we can create a multiple interface, and we can create a class, and we can implement the multiple interface to it, and we can use the properties of it. Okay, so by this you can answer this question. Next question, which is category inside the diamond problem. So this is the most popular, we can say, ask question category. What is the diamond problem in Java, and how the Java does resolve it? Like, how it's going to be work? So diamond problem occurs when the class inherits from two interfaces that have a methods with the same signature. Java resolved this by requiring the class to provide its own implementation of the method. So for example, we have a two interfaces. Okay, interface A, interface B. So both interface having the display methods, okay, default methods, and class in C implements both A and B. Okay, so in this we override the display method, and we call the A dot super dot display method, B dot super dot display method. We just use the super keyword and call the display methods to avoid the diamond problem over here. So like this way you can give the answer such kind of question. So this is the all 10 questions we have discussed till now. If you understood properly, you can answer these questions like this way. And if you like this video, then please like it, subscribe it, and share it. Thanks for watching.